Sorry, I'm just texting Andy Parker right now.
Please.
All right, done.
Name dropper.
Oh, nothing. So starting with some sad news that as we record this really broke just right before the show. Paul Sorvino has died. Natural causes. He died at the Mayo Clinic in Florida. As everyone knows, he was really big on Law and Order after this. But of course, everyone knows him from Goodfellas, Paul Cicero, the mobster. But yeah, big on Law and Order. Tons of shows, Tony nominated, beloved. Survived by his wife, Dee Dee, 3 children, including actress Mira Sorvino and 5 grandchildren. Brian, I don't mean to be rude or crass.
How old was he?
I'll double check because I'm just putting
in his
it out.
70s.
But is he on your list of they were alive?
No, I knew Paul Sorvino was alive. This is a last minute request because I didn't know.
83 years old.
I didn't know, but he died. But Ben, if you're able to find when Mira Sorvino won the Oscar for Woody Allen's Mighty Aphrodite, she was great. Her date was Quentin Tarantino. It was a weird Oscars. Paul Sorvino was in the crowd. The tears flowing.
The nachas, the pride.
Just the proud papa. And he's a big bear. She's up there. Beautiful young ingenue, winning the Oscar. Just the tears streaming down his face were just beautiful. It's priceless.
Was that your folks at the Ryman?
I think they were mainly coughing the whole time.
Oh,
but it was equivalent. Yeah, they were very proud. It was the first time they've been proud of me in a long time.
And they're down to listen to the music. They don't get offended or.
I didn't say that. They were.
Gotcha.
They were. They would have rather me, been a little more
subdued.
Hank.
Yeah.
But
her date was Quentin Tarantino that night.
Oh, yeah.
It was the year after Pulp Fiction, I think, a year or 2 later, and he was just drinking. He was like, I had nothing on the board.
And my family, and give me this award, you honor my father, Paul Sorvino, who has taught me everything I know about acting.
Just a big Italian mook.
I love you very much, Dad.
That is emotional.
He is broken down.
Anyway, that's it.
That's nice.
Is that from what Woody Allen did to her?
I don't think it came up during the acceptance speech, but you never know.
Between Woody and Harvey Weinstein, she had a rough go of it in the 90s.
Oh, boy.
Oh, right.
When they were both, we watched 7 again the other night. When they were both fresh on the scene, didn't you get Gwyneth Paltrow and Mira Sorvino mixed up all the time? Or was that just me?
I'll say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes, too. Just so we can turn the page.
How dare you. Here's something you're definitely going to want to turn the page from. MonkeyPox is now a global health emergency. The World Health Organization designation means that it's seen enough outbreaks worldwide that it's a threat and it could become another pandemic. There have been 16,000 reported cases of monkeypox in 70 countries. As of Friday, the U.S. has reported just under 3,000. A lot of them coming in from New York. The big difference between the monkeypox outbreak and COVID is that the monkeypox vaccine already exists, thank God.
It started at the Ryman.
That's probably
out here,
true.
and then
a lot of people very wart-like.
Oh my God, is that true?
New York has the most confirmed case of 900.
They should be called Wheelerpox.
That's right.
Now you're talking.
California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois all has it. Meanwhile, thank God, the vaccine prevents the illness. It can also be given to treat it. But this is not like I have COVID, trust me. This is like pustules all over your body.
Yeah.
Not cute.
Do they go away? I mean, I assume they go away eventually. They leave like pockmarks or.
So how do you get it? Is it the same thing? Coughing?
Pretty much gay sex.
Yeah. Gay sex?
They don't want to talk about it. But
So you're really
gay
not allowed
sex.
to say that.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
you're not allowed to be factual. That's
it's
the
funny
problem.
you should say that because
yes, it's a gay thing.
I got to stop doing
The
that.
same with AIDS. We just had to turn it into heterosexual, equal opportunity. That's what we do.
through
except
close
for,
contact.
It's
and the whole
science.
vibe.
It's science. It's all.
Then
it's
what
a
would
gay
make
thing.
it? What would make it more like anal? What would make monkeypox more transmissible? Same thing as AIDS, I guess.
It's like it's possible for heterosexual sex, but it's more of a gay thing. And
Or you mean it's in that community?
In that community, yes.
So there's nothing they do differently. Now, I'm asking
You're talking about different positions.
I'm asking for a friend here.
Writing a song.
Yeah. I don't know. We should ask Chuck Berry about
That's
how
true.
they work sexually, but
More transmissible that way.
Yes.
But a lot of headlines would appreciate you not calling it a gay STD.
Well, you have to accurately define things, even if it fucking offends people, because you have to sort of figure out how to approach problems. Like,
And keep
you can
communities
call
safe.
AIDS a equal opportunity killer, but if you're going to spend a lot of time coaching up heterosexual couples, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. The time should be committed to groups that are much more vulnerable.
Well, now that it's I'm over here just fucking sweating balls here. Now that I know that it's from getting it up the ass.
Oh boy.
Oh, right.
I'm messing around.
He's into what he's into whatever. He's not tight.
I said I do well in San Francisco, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This dude might be a hero, might be insane. I guess time will tell. A top engineer at Google has been fired for coming out publicly and saying that he believes one of Google's AIs is sentient. The AI in question is called Lambda. It's short for Language Model for Dialogue Applications, and it was publicly unveiled by Google last year as a means for computers to better mimic open-ended conversations. But Blake Lemoine seems to not only believe Lambda has attained sentience, but was openly questioning whether it possessed a soul. And in case there's any doubt about what his views are, he said, I legitimately believe Lambda is a person. Google published a statement about this, saying that they found this wholly unfounded, and they've been working with Lemoine for months to clear it up, and he just doesn't want to listen.
Speaking of open-ended, let's get back to monkeypox.
Sure.
I now believe whatever apocalyptic future that we've been discussed in movies for the last 20 years. Yeah,
Skynet becomes active.
It's all going to happen at this point.
Singularity.
I used to poo-poo it, and I no longer do that. I just go, I guess this is what's coming.
Yeah, didn't you? I'm with you on that. Didn't it used to be like there's some weird disease in some foreign country, like you didn't even think twice about? Now everyone I hear about. I think it's coming.
Everything's weaponized, but
especially when it's from butt fucking.
I was thinking about I had this thought the other day. Remember your first thing, and I don't know if I'll describe this correctly, but it's like you were talking about buying sandals or looking on your computer for sandals, and it's like the next day I opened my computer, it's a bunch of sandals. Such a coincidence. It was weird. Like I was just talking about it in front of the Alexa or the Siri, whatever. I was just looking at it, and then a bunch of sandals came up. Police wanted to sell me sandals. It was a coincidence. And now it's like,
That's how they sell sandals.
I don't have an Alexa. I don't want one. My mom's been trying to foist one on me for years. I'm like, not that our house is that interesting. We're selling government secrets, but I want to fly under the radar on this.
Christy and I have the same dynamic where she wants like Alexa, like a voice activation. Not my house.
Nope.
We got one as part of like.
But it doesn't even matter because no matter what the fuck I talk, I'm with you. I've ever what the fuck I talk about. I open my phone and there's fucking I don't have Alexa, but they're fucking listening to me. It's like I get scared to click on a YouTube video. It's like someone sends me like a story about. Like, what if I click on a fucking Justin Bieber video by accident?
What if you do?
I'm going to be fucking seeing that shit for the rest of my goddamn life.
Well, sometimes it's psychological like that, and the mystery's still there. Sometimes it just comes for your fingers. Because there's this robot in Russia that fucked this kid up. This 7-year-old chess player, well, I'll play the video on mute, in Moscow had his finger broken by his robot opponent during a match at a tournament last week. According to a Russian media outlet, the boy responded too quickly to one of the robot's moves, and the robot grabbed the child's finger and broke it. Human adults rushed over, tried to pry the robot's claw off the kid. The boy was whisked away to medical treatment. His finger eventually set in a cast. He's okay, but as expected from sometimes, Russian chess society.
This is the beginning of AI.
That's right. They blame the kid. They said there are certain safety rules, and the child apparently violated them. So what are you going to do?
Oh, they blame the kid?
They blame the kid. He moved too fast. That's what happens. You get your finger broken.
Yeah.
Critical thinking would be nice on the part of the robots.
They have all the, those robots that don't really look like robots. They look like
dogs.
I don't know, sheep or mules or something weirdly
four-legged
coming out of Japan. And then at some point, we're going to have to make them smart enough to know when they pick out our avocados, which ones are ripe and which ones are hard. And all these little nuanced things they're going to have to know. And then once they get infused with that, they're also going to know how to kill you and collect the insurance.
Of course.
Right.
What was that movie from the 80s where Gene Simmons was a bad guy and there were robot spiders?
Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
From Kiss?
Yeah. What were you people watching in the 80s?
Well,
All right.
Kiss went to the
Phantom-
amusement. There's
I was
the
gonna say
Phantom.
I
Phantom
Menace.
of the
own
Park.
that. I'm
I know
aware.
you know that
this is he was the bad guy, and there were electronic spiders doing exactly this. So
It's
anyway,
called Runaway, Chris
Sure.
says
Okay.
on the screen from 1984.
apparently they had a crystal ball. So I'm just saying, let's all take a nod from
if
that.
these computers are gonna break Russian kids' fingers, who gives a fuck? I'm all for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I never
If
thought
this
of it
is
that
the
way.
extent of their damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Big deal.
kid, next time your dad's thinking about going in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
maybe you
mean,
should
am I
think
really
about it.
worried about the fingers of Russian children? I don't care.
It's a good point.
The
Let's break
honesty's
them all.
refreshing.
The
Break them off.
if you kind of think about it, it goes back at its origins. You think about like the Wizard of Oz and the witch and the flying monkeys, and she's doing the witch's bidding, and now it's just going to be drones,
Yeah.
and finger breaking Russian chess robots and things. But
Flippy, don't forget about Flippy,
yeah,
the fast food flipper.
yes, it will be on.
Yeah, it's
It will
on.
be on.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, I'm going to refresh your memory because we talked about this a few years ago, and there's finally a conclusion. Remember back in 2017, there was that story of that couple that.
Think about this with Flippy.
Yeah.
Just think about, we would harness pack mules and camels and Clydesdales and stuff. We used to get, things to do our bidding.
Sure.
But Flippy,
Flower
everyone
fields.
always talks about, they're never late. They don't ask for a raise. How about never taking a shit at work?
Oh,
Does anyone ever really factor the big one in? Never.
Not publicly.
Chuck Berry'd be out of business with Flippy working his restaurant.
He'd be
But
so
I'm just saying,
depressed.
no one ever drops a deuce at the workplace. No toilet cleaning. No, we're out of paper. We need the wipes. Nothing. Just flipping burgers, searing burgers all day.
That's a very good point.
Just a little oil, not
Yeah.
like vegetable oil, grease
Yeah,
for the
little grease.
gears. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So there was this couple, we've talked about them and we've been following them a little, but they're back in the news. They did that GoFundMe for that homeless guy on the side of the road. The girl, Kate McClure, said, my car broke down. It was nighttime. I was by the freeway.
yeah.
And this homeless guy told me to roll up my windows. He gave me $20 to get gas. Now I want to set up a GoFundMe for him. It raked in $400,000. Turns out it was a total scam. She and her boyfriend and the homeless guy were all in on it together. And
Well, at least there was a homeless guy.
Yeah.
see, this
Yeah, I
is
was gonna say, sounds smart.
this is what's interesting about it. The greed is fantastic. So McClure and her then boyfriend Mark D'Amico posted about this good deed. It went viral. They made the money very quickly, and it was to get this guy off the streets. So the prosecutor said the couple spent the money on a BMW, lots of gambling in casinos. I feel like that was the origination of this. I feel like they have a gambling problem because gambling came up a lot. Louis Vuitton handbags, Disneyland, all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, the homeless guy received $75,000 as his cut, which apparently was less than he was supposed to receive, like split three ways. So instead of just taking 75 grand and shutting the fuck up, he sues them that he didn't get all of his part of the scam
So he used
money.
his money. He used his money for a lawyer.
He retained
Exactly.
a lawyer.
And
You
you
write that
think,
off.
and you think when you just hear the story, you're like, of course, he's absolutely right. He's this guy. He did a good deed. They ran away with his money. Did not realize he was in on the scam. Probably should have shut the fuck up. So now, since Bobbitt, the homeless man, was in on it too, he pled guilty to conspiracy to commit theft by deception. He was sentenced to a 5-year probation that includes drug treatment, which is nice. D'Amico, the boyfriend, he pleaded guilty a couple years ago. He's serving a 5-year term in New Jersey. But Kate McClure, she's the newest one. She just got hit for a year and a day for whatever reason in her sentencing, and she has to also serve restitution. And I think this is probably a huge win for sites like GoFundMe because who knows how many scams are, this is a good warning for anyone who's trying to pull this shit.
They always talk about get this guy some money so he can get off the street.
Yeah.
Does anybody know somebody who's on the street for strictly financial reasons?
But just a little bit of money would help.
If you could stay in a hotel or a motel, or you could get an apartment with somebody if you've just had some cash.
Otherwise, you're a pillar of the community.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, everyone I grew up with was, like, sort of poor and semi-jobless, but nobody was on the street. Everyone just sort of ended up, like I said, when my dad and my mom got divorced, my dad went to my grandparents' closet.
Your mom's parents.
My mom's parents, and slept in a large closet. Now, he because he wasn't a junkie, he was just a poor person, so they let him sleep in a closet.
Well, look at this dude. He got 75 grand and turned being homeless into being in jail.
Right.
He got
It's that kind of brain that gets you on the street.
That's right. Remember the golden throat guy?
Yes,
what
the
happened to him?
announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had this funny conversation with my stepmom and my dad yesterday where they were explaining in between discussions about me kicking them a couple of bucks.
Oh.
There was a discussion at some point I had to do. Tell me if this is a dick move. My stepmom's always kind of gainfully employed or had been. And both my parents are kind of hooked up with people that were willing to work, so
Smart.
they didn't have to work so hard. And they did, just kind of hung out while people worked around them.
Yeah.
And at some point, my stepmom yesterday, she said, well, we're now both just on Social Security and fixed incomes, and when we both pool it together, and so we contribute about the same money, because in the past it was always they worked full time and whoever my parents were hung out. So she was kind of making the point, she kept going, we both put into the pot, and it's about even. It's about even. We about equal into the pot. And then I just looked at my dad and I said, equal or just a little bit less? And my poor stepmom was like, well, yeah, Jim's a little, not quite as much. And I'm like, even when it's coming from the government or from some other, how did I know you were putting in a little bit less just to keep it consistent?
Gosh, they're true to the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he have any thoughts about that?
No.
Stay quiet.
The beauty of those people is getting back to shame. Nope, no problema.
Well,
yeah.
And like you said, his money is not his money.
Also, the thing about people who
Government's
don't do anything, they complain about people who do a lot of shit because they don't do anything. Like my dad was like, oh, your stepmom, she's cleaning the gutters out, she's washing the windows down, she's walking the dog, she's going, it's like, yeah, guess why?
She's doing things.
Guess why? That's why. Because you're fucking with a flugelhorn in the living room. That's why she's doing those things. I know it's annoying, but don't you
How dare
want
she?
clean gutters?
Needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to presume to tell you how to do your job, Wheeler, because I know you're very good at what you do, and you don't need any help. But this next story may inspire maybe another song. Again, I don't want to tell you your business. Did you guys know there is a significant rumor about Willem Dafoe?
Oh, yeah. Huge hog.
Yeah. So the rumor going around about he has.
I've seen the movie.
Well, no, you haven't.
Oh, I've seen the movie where they use the stunt cock.
Why do I even bother recording?
Sorry.
All right, so apparently
No one knows Defoe's cock like Brian out here.
his dick is so big that they had to use a stand-in one for the film. Why is that? Well, director Lars von Trier told a story recently to the Boston Phoenix newspaper saying that they needed to use a stunt penis for Dafoe in the movie Antichrist so people wouldn't, and I quote, be confused.
A smaller stunt penis.
That's
Wow.
a more
That's when you know you
appropriately
made it.
sized. Von Trier clarified that Defoe's penis was so big that everybody was confused when they saw it, so they need to use someone with a small one so it possibly wouldn't pull focus in the scene. How would you like to be that guy they call?
I'm still trying to figure out what song you want me to write.
I don't know. Maybe there's just something
Willem
there
Dafoe's
about
cock?
Yes,
Stunt cock.
stunt cock.
I do have a theory about the guys that have a certain build and a certain look that oftentimes have a huge hog. Like big husky guys and fat guys, it's always kind of the drawn, kind of bony guys that have the big hogs.
Big jaw, pronounced jaw.
You met my husband, yes? You saw his carriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking more, the great John Holmes was a very kind of spindly guy, the kind of drawn in angular face. Those guys. Now, maybe it's because the hog seems bigger on their carriage because they're so narrow that this is taking up 26% of their weight, their width and their waist is their dick.
Yeah.
But
also,
Dafoe fits.
Yeah.
That's how he's getting his exercise, you mean?
Perfectly. Just dragging his hog around.
Yeah. That's why
Wow.
he
Isn't
looks
that
kind of sunken in.
Isn't that a Tom Petty song?
Stop dragging my hog around.
Let's stay in the nether regions for a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a... Now...
Good for him.
If you're Dafoe,
Yeah.
do you argue about putting this information out there, or do you subtly push it along, or do you
I think
encourage
he's
it?
probably okay with it. Actually, somebody asked him, one of the reporters asked him in an interview, and apparently he has like kind of a beef with Hollywood because they said like, and we've heard, like in Hollywood, the rumor is that your penis is so big, whatever, it won't fit on the screen. And apparently he got up and he's like, I'm not really in Hollywood anymore. So that was that was a kind of a cool sidestep.
Sounds like it's true.
I do too.
That's what I would do if it was.
I mean,
His dick's in Hollywood,
That's
he's not.
right, in a different zip code. It was because Florida
Then
Project.
his dick left a minute later.
That's right.
There's no frontal nudity in the front.
Right, but it was definitely more of like a indie film. It's not like he's being.
Even this movie we're talking about, Antichrist,
Yeah.
is a very it's a very indie weird
right,
movie.
and he's never really has he ever been nominated for anything, or he's never won anything?
Yeah, he was nominated for the Vincent Van Gogh movie like 2 years ago.
But
really?
But he doesn't. He hasn't racked up a bunch of Oscars.
I don't believe so. We'd have to look that up, but I would say no.
Interesting.
You want the huge hog rumor, even if it's a rumor, because women are curious.
Pete Davidson.
And they're going to want to see it.
Yeah.
Possibly slay it,
Sure.
but certainly see it.
Yeah.
So you want that going around.
I want to see the interview where someone asked him if he had a big dick. He's like, "God damn it, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Yeah. Nominated 4 times, says Chris.
But
Defoe
never a
is.
bride.
Platoon, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Platoon.
Well, let's stay in the crotch for a hot sec because this is really a fucking horror movie come to life. A 73-year-old Florida woman is lucky to be alive after a large sailfish. Have you seen a sailfish?
Yes.
Put that up, Ben.
They will fuck your shit up.
It's literally like a needle coming out of
my.
the front of the face. Jumped into the fishing boat she was in and stabbed her in the groin. The victim was with 2 others last week when an angler on board caught the sailfish on a fishing line about 2 miles offshore. They attempted to reel it in. 2 men on the boat noticed the creature began to charge the boat. The fish then jumped out of the water, stabbed the woman in the crotch, and she was standing next to the center console, just standing in the boat. The anglers reported the sailfish was estimated to be about 100 pounds. And she's alive. We'll tell the tale.
They have
Look at that fucking thing.
They have a 2-foot ice pick for a nose. They're
They have
weird.
a rapier.
Yeah,
They're beautiful,
They could go. They'll put a hole in you. They must hunt that way, but I don't know how they do it.
Never seen a sailfish pop up on a menu.
No.
Never
Good
once.
point.
They have swordfish, but now sailfish.
Yeah, no, I've seen marlin.
And
Yeah.
then,
Never-
is there a difference between a swordfish and a sailfish?
Well, sometimes they call
I
it
guess.
something else, like "What's Orange Ruffy?" Really,
Oh, right.
they rename it. But but usually that's when they're gross looking. This is a cool one.
Stabbed in the crotch, so she won't be ready for Defoe for a while.
Yeah, that's going to take some healing.
Or does that make her more ready?
Ooh,
Depends which way it went in.
You might be right.
Oh God! When you guys, we do stories about like someone sack tapping you too hard. I got no thoughts about it. This, my knees are weak thinking about this.
Yeah, probably speared an egg.
It's a pretty fish.
Majestic, but and then what happens? Because the lady's bleeding out, but you got
100-pound sailor fish.
you got a fish.
Yeah.
You just cracked a beer. You
Yeah.
got your line in the
Look
water.
water.
Look what I caught. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be some tourniquet talk. You know what I mean? I would be the way.
Put a napkin over it.
I try to talk people out of going to the hospital all the time, but this would be a tough sell. But on the other hand, we chartered the ship for 3 hours. We're only
Yeah.
80 minutes in. They got,
wouldn't really be
we're
fair
not
to
gonna
us.
get
Yeah,
our deposit back.
on the wall. You want to hear the
Also-
story about this fish? It's a
Right.
doozy.
Could attract a shark, chum the waters.
That's
right.
right.
Throw her in. Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay, well, let's talk about the other side of the cute and not so cute animal spectrum. I have been sitting on this story, and it's just never came up, and I think today's the day. A hairless Chinese crested Chihuahua. These things are like straight from hell.
They will win like the ugliest.
Yeah, they're
dog
one of those
or
like a
whatever.
face only a mother could love. His name is Mr. Happy Face, and he was crowned the latest winner in the 2022 World's Ugliest Dog Contest in Petaluma, California.
Does he have the blop, the tongue that comes out?
Hold on. We'll show you right away. Now, I've been looking up these dogs because I'm looking up hypoallergenic shit, and some of them look like glam rock stars. They have no hair, but they have these fabulous, like, bouffant, actual hair on top of their head. But this guy wasn't so lucky, Mr. Happy Face. You have it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Poor thing. His owner, Janita Banley, said that the title's an honor. In August 2021, she adopted
Looks like
the
the
dog.
dude who gave me monkeypox.
That's right. She rescued this dog from a hoarder's house, which I believe. Banley said that the winning dog's very old, has many health problems, but says Mr. Happy Face raises awareness that even old dogs need love.
That's
too.
the dog on the right?
That's a good-looking
That's
dog.
the dog on the right.
Yeah,
Look at that poor fucking thing.
Were we discussing this, or was I just thinking about this? That
koala.
this fine line between hoarders and collectors. Were we discussing that?
No. Is organization the fine line?
No, it's picking a lane.
Oh.
Like, if you go to anyone's house who collects all things bunnies or all things hippos, we have some sort of cute reverence for, like, oh, that's the bunny lady. Really just a hoarder who hoards one thing.
Yeah.
They're equally miserable. The
Yeah.
house is equally fucked up. Psychologically, if you gave them a PET scan, it would show up the same way in the scanner. But you are, if someone is a hoarder, you're amongst the worst people society has to offer.
True.
And then if you're a collector of one thing and it fills up the entire house, sort of some reverence there.
Yeah,
But
it's
they're all the
quaint.
same fucked up people.
No, you're right. A lot
Yeah.
of porcelain frogs and shit. Oh, because then it becomes like a stop on the tour across Kansas.
I've been to the house of the guy who collects all the Charlie's Angels stuff. Oh, that guy was in an apartment. Can we agree that if you're in an apartment, no collecting? You
sounds
got to
good.
get yourself a down payment. Stop buying all the fucking $6 million man lunch pails. Let's focus on your fucking down.
Fair.
You're on
Yes.
eBay all day looking for Charlie's Angels figurines.
And I'm with you on that. The other thing too is you can't, when the rent goes up, you can't call your buddies to help you fucking move when you gotta. And I got to come over with my fucking truck and spend my full fucking
That's
afternoon
right.
with. You shouldn't have bought this much shit if you live in a little fucking shithole.
Yes.
That's a good point.
That's
Well
right.
I have
All
a buddy who did that once. He was like, can you help me get my arcade games out of my apartment? Why'd you have arcade games in your fucking?
Oh my god! Like the
Wait till you buy a house.
wow! Like at a Pizza Hut kind of arcade games.
Yeah, like the giant arcade.
Damn.
Well, I'd make fun of your friend, but my first apartment, we had asteroids in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
And my roommates were like, wanted to switch it to free mode. You know, there's like a switch, unlimited. And I was like, we have enough stoners fucking their girlfriends here already for free and eating my fucking
You're taking
generic
your pound of
cereal.
flesh.
It's a fucking quarter. You want to play this shit. You want to hang out. It's a fucking quarter.
Smart.
At the end of each month, we get like $47 in quarters. And then we go, we're going to the Sherman Oaks Mall. Well,
You invested in a certificate of deposit.
we're buying pot. Then we're going to the mall to watch a movie. Then we're eating Chinese food at the mall. And we're going to take this bucket
Date
of
night.
quarters.
That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Date night with 3 dudes.
That's right.
All right. Let's bring her home.
I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Do not ever be the first apartment. Do not be the first apartment amongst the friends.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
the loser, dumb shit, not
Right.
going to college friends.
Right.
They need a place to do drugs. They need a place to flop. They need a place to plow their girlfriend. They need a place to crash when they get into an argument with their girlfriend. Your
Right.
fucking house, your shitty little apartment becomes the place that everyone who can't do shit at home because they live at home are coming. So if you have friends that are like a year below you in high school or whatever, do not get that first apartment. They're all showing up.
Yeah. Same guy, and I think Brian can attest to this. The first guy with a pickup truck.
Oh,
that was me.
moving. Me too. I had
Yeah.
the pickup
Terrible.
truck. Yeah, I mean, well, you know, my friend's dad came to crash out before prison. Stay on the sofa for 3 weeks before he went to the joint.
You're literally the halfway house.
All right, let me tell you about the Jordan Harbinger Show, a different kind of sponsor for this podcast. It is the Jordan Harbinger Show. If you like fascinating podcasts and interesting people, then you should definitely check it out. There's an episode for everyone. No matter what you're into, Jordan talks to Scott Adams about persuasion in a world where facts don't matter, or you go inside the dark world of wildlife trafficking. You'll always find something useful to apply to your own life, like routine changes to boost productivity or slight mindset tweaks to change how you see the world. We enjoy the show. We've had Jordan on a few times, been on this show. He's been on me and Drew's show a few times. We know you're going to as well. So it's the Jordan Harbinger Show. That's Harb as in boy, IN as in Nancy, GER. And you find it on Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to finer podcasts. It's the Jordan Harbinger Show. All right, let's see. Wise Guys Comedy Club, August 26th, 27th. That'll be Salt Lake City. We'll do some live pod there and some stand-up there. Wheeler Walker Jr., Sex, Drugs, and Country Music. Got dates coming out. Los Angeles, the Fonda Theater. That'll be tonight. Solana Beach at the Belly Up coming up July 27th. Instagram him at Wheeler Walker Jr. and Eddie Trunk. You can check out Trunk Nation Daily Rock Show. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Wheeler Walker Jr. and Eddie Trunk and Gina Grad and Bald Bryan saying Mahala.
Yeah, I still get emotional when I listen, but whenever I hear that song, I remember, and I know he meant it as a compliment, but the second the song, like the day the song came out, I got a text from Kid Rock. I know he's a big subject today for some reason. He said, "This makes all your," I know he meant it as a compliment. "This makes all your other songs sound like shit."
Oh, wow.
But I know he means it well, but it's also kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are my other ones that bad?